Thank you everybody for coming here as well. This is our one of our regular animes where we try to just invite our customers, partners, community members to come in, introduce themselves, introduce them to the community, and get to know the project. So we can share all the exciting things that we're doing across all the projects that's building on Immutable X. With that in mind, would love to get to know a little bit about you, Max Murphy and Arthur X. Could you give like a quick introduction about yourselves and how you got into the space before we get into the project itself?
Yeah, sure. I'll get started. I'm Max Murphy. I'm the CTO of Congregate. I've been dabbling in various crypto NFT efforts since 2019 within the company, and we're continuing to build out the vertical and the team. And here we are today to tell you about our latest and most exciting project that we're going to be launching on Immutable X.
Yeah, and I'm Arbiter Rex. I've been working at Kong for a very long time. I've been a designer, a writer, a producer, community support. I've done a lot of things there, and I'm very excited about Blood Vessels. It's our first like NFT project of this kind. A little bit different than any of the other games we've made before. So yeah, I'm very stoked.
Awesome. Could you tell us a little bit about Blood Vessels? Like, what is it about? Is it a game? Is it a PFP? What's the download?
So Blood Vessels it takes place in Chicago in the 1800s, late 1800s. It's a game. The NFTs will have art assets as well as game stats, like RPG characters. So you will have like a strength score or will score, and these things will be rolled in our Discord. But yeah, it takes place late 1800s during the Chicago World's Fair. Players play as vampires that either fall into one of two groups, an apex or a hybrid. You check out the event text channel. I dropped some NFT art in progress. You can see some of the assets coming together. Apex vampires in our game are these more traditionally attractive, very, what you think about when you think about a vampire. And the hybrid are these kind of like mutants almost. They're very strange looking. And so players get one of these two characters when they get one of our NFTs, and then with that they can explore the Blood Vessels world.
Yeah, and as we talk about, Blood Vessels and what it is, the gameplay at its core, the community at its core, it's a lot of different things, right? It's an NFT project. It's a collection of very high-end art for all your characters. It's utility within every token. It's a game. It's almost a level of a social club to get into Discord and work together to build these scenarios with other people and make these decisions and vote and move through this narrative as a community. It's really putting, the power in the player's hand to influence where things go and what we build. And that's, one of the many things I love about the crypto space, and definitely something that we're leaning really hard into on this game.
Yeah, just to follow that up, or underline it rather, the community is super important to our game because the community is going to be driving our story. Because we're going to be creating things that people want to see. We want to reveal secrets that people want to, poke into with Blood Vessels.
Yeah, awesome. I'm looking at that artwork now, and it's like super high quality. How much work or hours go into one piece of artwork?
Well, we've been working on this art style for a very long time. We went through several iterations and landed on this style that we think is really cool. It is like hand painted. It has a painterly vibe to it, and the mix and match of the auras and the mutations are very interesting when we think about them as NFT traits. And so some of these characters might have an aura, brighter gold aura, or weirder mutations like tentacles. While some might have that with a background or with a foreground. Yeah, we're pretty excited about this art, especially when we get to show off the final versions once we have all the final assets and there's no more blue lines, as you can see in the.
Yeah, as Arbiter Rex was saying, this is a generative art collection also. I mean, there's so many things, so many points in this project that are really exciting.
That's awesome. Are you the artist yourselves, or do you have a team behind this?
I made all of these by hand. No,
Oh
no,
my
no, no, no,
God!
no. I didn't.
Wow.
I did not. I did not. I have no artistic skill beyond like the writing and drawing stick figures.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in the games industry for a long time. We have a lot of preferred artists and studios and production houses that we have great relationships with, and that's the road we went down to build all the different layers for our generative art here.
Yep.
That's amazing. Okay. Your lore, 1893 Chicago at the start of a World Fair. That's awfully specific. Where did this come from?
Yeah, it is very specific. So the Chicago World's Fair was at the start. It was at the start of uh, a century of progress. People. It was about 30 years after the uh, Chicago fire, and Chicago was celebrating. America was celebrating. They were 30 years past a devastating event, and they were coming back out and saying, like, this is industry now. America is going forward. It was a very interesting time. The social social classes were coming together. The fair was meant to be this beacon of hope and light. And what we're going to do is inject some vampires into it. Because we think it like reflects today very well. The way that we, just came out of something heavy and long, and are looking into new technology and a new future, and so that kind of almost romantic pairing really sang to us when we were building what Blood Vessels was going to be before we knew it was going to be Blood Vessels.
Got it. Awesome. And how did this begin? Like, where did you think of blood vessels? Why did you think of it? Why did you run with this idea?
We, like I had mentioned, the past 2 years, our congregate went all work from home, and so we were trying to figure out ways to stay together, stay in touch, and discovered that a lot of people among our company have a love for tabletop RPGs like D&D or, well, mostly D&D, and these kinds of games were connecting people across the company that wouldn't probably work together, and so we kept, we grabbed that seed of community, that idea, and I was like, well, what can we make something that's like, when we got this awesome opportunity from IMX, and we're like, how can we combine these things to make, share that sort of connectedness and cool story, like group storytelling across time zones, across states, across nations. And so that's where Blood Vessels kind of germinated from.
I have a huge, huge love of older narrative-driven games that there aren't many on the market anymore. So it was really a good opportunity for us to do something we were passionate about in the game space and experiment with new technology. I mean, running headstrong into a world of NFTs and Discord and everything being completely distributed is just it is a whole new world. It's really cool.
You mentioned Congregate. So what exactly is the relationship between Congregate, Electric Visions, as I understand, and blood vessels?
Yeah, so Congregate, we're launched 15 years ago as a web platform on congregate.com in the Web 2.0 days. That was really we were like the YouTube for Flash games. And we did that for years. And then when the mobile app stores came along, we started publishing in the mobile stores. And that turned quickly from a fascination of what are these platforms all about to a good portion of our business. And we continued that for years. As a lot of people know, Flash, Adobe took Flash down. The Flash player was deprecated in January of 2020. So that kind of cut off a lot of games there. And we started digging into where do we go with community? What would we want to build? Where do we want to build it? And blockchain, IMX, was really our natural choice because it hit so many different pieces there. And so it was really a long journey that started with an experiment in 2019 internally with some little bit of crypto side meta quests and games happening on our side. And as everything evolved around us, we saw that there's a space and a need for us in the blockchain world, in the NFT world. And with Electric Visions, as Arbiter Rex was saying, it was a passionate group within the company who pretty much self-formed and started baking this idea. And then we sprinkled a little bit of this, what about if we went in this new direction on top of it? And this is what sprouted from all of that. Electric Visions, Blood Vessels, an impassioned team within Congregate, doing some really cool on the edge game concepts.
Awesome. Okay. That's amazing. I can't believe what kind of a journey you've been, right? From Flash to mobile to now blockchain. You've literally gone through the entire gaming life cycle.
It's true. It's true. It's been a wild ride, and I'm ready for the next chapter, and very excited for it. Very, very passionate about it.
Yeah, that's what we're building, and we're really excited to try it out. Blood Vessels is something really new and something really exciting. And I think everybody on our team that's working on it, they are all passionate about it, and so I hope that passion is seen as we share more of these spooky vampires and increase our community.
Definitely love a little bit of horror lore. When you say something special and interesting, could you share more about that? What do you think is the most unique thing about Blood Vessels compared to everything that's come out so far?
Well, the characters we mentioned before, each piece of the asset has been hand painted. We are game designers and game engineers first. So instead of, just creating the art and trying to create a club around that, we want to create utility with the NFTs so that they feel like those game characters, so that you get a character sheet and you can use it to do cool things, either play with each other or explore the world. And if anybody in the audience, I'd love to know, like, what kind of stuff would you want to do with a character like that, with a Blood Vessels NFT, or what would you want to explore or do? What kind of things do you want to influence?
Got it. Yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything you want to share about the content so far, feel free to drop it in the events text channel. In the meantime, you mentioned something about a community-driven narrative. Like, how exactly will that work within the blockchain setting?
Good question, and that's something that we're still developing. Right now, if you visit our Discord, you can check out there's a channel called Seeing Red that shows some of the rules that the game has been being built with and how it might work in Discord. But yeah, we're still working on how we can get everybody telling a story together and it being impactful. Discord's a very powerful tool for organizing a community and getting people together. And so that tool is what we're going to leverage for this first around our launch, presenting votes that allow us to create narrative and create content for the players.
Imagine it's almost like a massively multiplayer online tabletop RPG. I mean, if I could make a longer acronym, I would, but that wouldn't be fun for everyone else. But when you think about the game in that aspect, it really is like when you're hanging out with your friends playing D&D around a tabletop. Hey, we've reached a point in the road where there's a Y. Do we take the left road or the right road? And then everyone has to, you have your conversation about it in character, and bring that to Discord where Arbiter Rex may be running a session with the world, and hey everyone, where are we going next? And everyone with a vampire can jump in and add their reacts to the message to define where the story is going.
Got it. That sounds amazing. So it's like bringing D&D to the metaverse or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing collaborative storytelling, hopefully a fun world to poke around and discover, bringing that to blockchain, bringing that to the metaverse.
Got it. Do you have any early ideas on how exactly this will work? Like, will it be somebody playing a game on one screen and then just having Discord on another, and then just reacting to what happens in Discord within the game?
Yeah, I think to start, there will probably be some sort of use for the NFTs within the Discord. So calling on those stats, having them roll. But we've got a lot of cool future development planned, future use of these characters in more traditional RPG ways.
Got it. Awesome. Well, speaking of the plans, what is the roadmap like? What does the roadmap look like in the next 6 to 12 months? Where are you today? What's like the big next thing that people should be looking forward to?
Definitely more art, final art, and the Discord becoming more active, more full of things to do and interact with. After that, we've got some super secret stuff that we're excited about.
So playtests are coming up in our Discord. Please jump in there. I'll point this out right now. The great thing is we're building this game and we will interact with you as we are building this game in our Discord. So please join us and hang out. The other things we're planning beyond that, of course, the drop of the vampires. I mean, that's what we're leading up to right now. And that'll be the first milepost we hit on the roadmap coming up. I do not have a date to share right now before anyone asks, but it's coming.
Read my mind. That was the first thing I was gonna ask. When you say people can come in and like go into Discord and help define some of the things in the game, how much flexibility are we talking about? Like, will people be able to share what features to build, what storyline to create, etc.?
Yes, we want this to be, this is a community narrative, a community-driven game. If Web3 is about the player and the end user and their community, that's who's driving this game.
Exactly.
Awesome. Any exciting things that you already have planned in the next, I don't know, a week or so? Is there an event or a social event that people should definitely attend?
Yeah, if you want a chance to win a place on the whitelist for Blood Vessels, please hop over to our Discord. We'll share the link after we're done. But yeah, join today or tomorrow, and next week we'll be drawing from our Discord users to get on the whitelist. So that's in the immediate future. We'll also be doing some playtesting tomorrow if you want to stop by and listen in. And we've got some cool things cooking up to throw into the Discord soon to help show off more of what Blood Vessels can do.
And we'll have some Seeing Red posts more that'll continue on.
Oh yeah, Seeing Red. Thank you.
Please join and follow along on that. It's a lot of fun.
Ooh, can you share a little bit about the details about the Seeing Red posts?
Yeah, so Seeing Red is a group community run or community driven RPG almost. We are following Everett Hartman, a hybrid vampire wandering through his first nights. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we post narrative. Mondays and Wednesdays there are votes that show off or that ask the community what Everett should do next. And Tuesdays and Thursdays we roll some dice based on those choices that the community makes and explain why or how he succeeds or fails. And it kind of shows what mechanics we're playing with for the game later. How to resolve tests, how to lose health, how to use your spooky mutations. All of that's coming up in Seeing Red over on the Discord.
Awesome, it's amazing. Does that happen live 24/7, or is there like special slots that people should be to do that?
That's happening every day, Monday through Friday. We update the story either through dice rolls or through narrative text, and people can vote and come check it out whenever they want.
Nice, amazing. That sounds great. There was one question here or comment from Nazarap. Can you create a legendary NFT man and woman couple or in that style? I guess there's a larger question here about like what are your plans with the NFTs that you're creating? Is there going to be like a couple? Are there different ranks or rarities, etc.?
Yeah, we like the art is showing. We're still getting art assets in, but part of what we're doing next is the weighting of each of those traits, so we can build rarity in. So there are rare auras or rare mutations, rare backgrounds, rare faces. So we definitely want to have that as part of Blood Vessels.
Yeah, like Arbiter Rex is saying, the rarity of art assets, because there are special ones and they are weighted, as with any generative art project. But at the same time, there's also the points distribution on your player card, right? So I may pull one NFT that's stronger, that's got a higher attack stat and a lower defense stat. Just like any, think like when you're catching Pokemon or something along those lines, where you get these things. They all are essentially a vampire, but they're all unique and different. And there's going to be the most ways for rarity are going to be in the art, and the most useful, the rarity for utility is in the stats and character sheet and the distribution of the points.
Got it. Awesome. There was a comment here as well from Baby Jabba. It's so cool that Congregate lets you do that. I think this pertains to the fact that I mean, is this a Congregate project or is this like a mini group in Congregate, and they just let you do side project?
So both. It is Congregate, but we are Electric Visions, which is meant to be punk. We're trying something new. We're doing something.
It's our sub label.
Yeah, it's an imprint like Vertigo. We're making weird stuff that is a little bit outside of what Congregate has made before.
Right, like Capitol Records may not publish a bunch of punk albums, but they have a label that does, and that's our Electric Visions, is the cutting edge, not everyday style and feel of gaming, really pushing the envelope and challenging what's possible with gaming and NFTs.
Yeah, what's some new stuff we can do? What's stuff people haven't seen before? That's what excites us. That's the stuff we want to sink our fingers into, or teeth.
And what I'm excited about is, there's the metaversal aspect of it all. Like Nigel, as you mentioned earlier, it's D&D for the metaverse, but at the same time, it's a project that's not focused on a metaverse in the end. It's focused on the community that is part of Blood Vessels, that owns Blood Vessels and runs Blood Vessels.
Got it. Awesome. That's super interesting. It is kind of like the Moonshot studio for Congregate.
Oh, completely. I mean, internally we're always saying to the moon with these projects. So yes.
Amazing. Okay. Zacho Lantern seems to be. Oh, there you go. Zacho Lantern's question: where did the name Blood Vessels come from?
So Blood Vessels, it's got a few meanings. Well, a few of them are secret. It's about these vampires and their weird infection. It's about the people around them, and so we just loved the Blood Vessels as the name for it, and it sort of is stuck. It made sense. It communicates what this kind of weird thing is. Blood Vessels NFT. It's either going to be organ replacement or it's going to be vampires, and we're hoping.
It's one of these names that we initially really liked, and the more we got into the project, the more and more it applied. When you look at community, like a network of blood vessels, blood traveling through vessels for vampires drink it, all those pieces are fitting every angle of this project that we can throw it at, which is something you don't get every day in a name, and very, very cool.
Awesome. I know we're coming into the last minute of the AMA, so thank you very much, Max Murphy and Arbiter Rex. Was there anything or key takeaways that you wanted to end the AMA with?
No, just if you are interested in a white listing spot, head on over to our Discord. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening and chatting with us about vampires and NFTs.
Thank you all for attending. It's been great.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Max Murphy. Thanks, Arbiter Rex. Thank you for sharing some of your art. And thank you for everybody who attended. Definitely go check out their Discord.